Welcome to Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, a weekly gifted guidance from my spirit guides on navigating the uncertain world that you are now living in. Published every Tuesday since 2014. In this episode, the guides will be talking about when your vision is greater than your fear of failure. And like always, Ray has a question for me on this topic. So what do you have, Ray?
All right. Some people have this great vision to change the world, but they don't want to have to change themselves along the way. Isn't that kind of self-defeating?
Well, they're synonymous. If you have a vision, first of all, let's talk about a vision. A vision is something that drives you from a soul level. A vision is something you see, and maybe nobody else sees what you see. But you know that you have to follow through on your vision because it's that important. A vision is something that's bigger than you. A vision is your purpose. So if you're going out, what was that question again, Ray?
Everybody says they like to change the world.
Okay, but they don't want to change themselves.
Right.
Okay, so when you have a vision, you have a passion, you have a driving force, you have something bigger than you, it will cause you, it definitely will bring up that, what Ray talked about making changes. You will have to make changes. If it's my vision, I will recognize changes that come up that I need to make in my own life to perform on that vision. And if that vision meets the litmus test, if it's really, really important, if it really matters to you, you will make the changes. You will shift and adjust yourself. You will adapt or change, but you will never compromise. Never. Okay, that's your standard. That's who you are. But you definitely will feel the effects of change within your own self as you follow that vision, true to your heart and soul. It's something you have to see through. Now, when you get Linda's Weekly Guided Insights, there's the insight. Okay, you get it delivered to your email address on Tuesday mornings, all right? So I'm just going to read a few little spots on this insight. I'm going to bring it up. One thing about vision is when you have a vision, any risk involved in performing on that vision is a moot point. The risk is wiped off the slate. The risk does not intimidate you. You are all in. The vision's greater than your fear of risk. You're not afraid, okay? And one thing that you have to do along the way, what I do with this project here, is I constantly communicate with my spirit guides and angels about, as I'm moving through the vision, they're right with me. They're moving through it with me all the way along. Dreams, insights, all kinds of things coming through all the time, supporting that vision, because that vision's bigger than me. That vision's bigger than you are. That vision's important, okay? And most of all, it's timely. So what kind of vision do you have for the world we live in today, the world that we find ourselves in right now? What is your vision in being an asset moving forward, in helping others through what's going on in our world right now, you guys? What's your vision? What you need to do is you need to write down that vision. These are the journals, the companion journals to Guided. You need to write down what that vision is so that you can, when you write it down, I'm going to say it like this. When you write down what your vision is in your journal, specifically My Guided Journey, you write it down. What you're doing is you're having a conversation with your guides. You're not used to calling it that. You don't think about it like that, but that's what you're doing. You're communicating and calling in the guides that can help you with your vision. And they're right there. But if you don't write it down, if you don't put it on paper, if you don't bring it out of the ethers and into this world, then that vision will be nothing more than a conversation on a Saturday night, or, oh, wouldn't that be nice to do? Or I thought about doing that. Maybe I'll get around to it. It would be something like that. When you have a vision, you don't get around to it. You are in. You are all in. You're doing it. Okay. You may not be doing it all the way, but as you write down what your vision is and you communicate this conversation you're having with your spirit guides and angels, when you write it down, that vision will come to life. I can tell you that that's how, when you read my book Guided or listen to my book Guided, you'll see that that's how I pulled off my visions, my purpose, what drives me, my soul. Okay. So that's what goes on there. That's why it's important to write it down, critical to write it down and keep that conversation going. So it's something that that surpasses anything that anybody might judge you. They may talk behind your back, and they may think that you're crazy. I mean, when I wrote Guided, the few people that knew I was writing it, they said, "You're not an author. You can't write a book. You don't know how to write a book." But my guides told me 20 years before I wrote it and published it that I was going to write this book about my relationship with them since I was a little girl, and how this book would be a bestseller. This book will affect the world. And this book is actually prophetic. What's going on in the world today lines right up with where we're heading from what came through and what I wrote about, what I've learned throughout my life in Guided. So that's a vision, okay? And I've seen it through, and Ray's helped me see that vision through. In fact, they sent Ray in part 4 of Guided. They literally, the guides sent Ray in at just the right time to perform on this vision. The first thing the guides said in our first channeling session together with the guides, when I was first teaching Ray how to do this, they said, "Write the book." So you guys, when it's meant to be, don't try to fight it. Don't worry about what other people may say or think about you, like they said and thought about me. Okay. Throughout my whole life, as a matter of fact, it never stopped me. Okay. So this thing about having a vision is bigger than you are. That's why it's so important to track what's coming through, to track your steps as you move through it, because that conversation is critical to the performance on that vision. Okay, really important. All right, now, it's following their passion for a long period of time, and that they realize that their vision. So my whole life, Guided is about my whole life. Do you think that's a long period of time? Yeah, it's a long period of time. It's something that lingers in your head where you know that you need to do something. It bothers you. It gets to you when you have conversations with people and certain things come up, whatever that is. That's your vision, your mission. That's your soul's purpose coming through, reminding you that you need to perform on whatever that is. How are you going to know what that is? Start writing down what insights you're getting, what your dreams are. Write down your dreams so you can decipher your dreams. Write down those unusual and out of the ordinary occurrences. Write them down, and you will spot your vision. Everybody has a vision. They just don't know how to tap into it. And that's what this is all about. And it's not about it's not about what you do in your life. It's not about what the vision is. It's about why you're performing on it. Why? What is the underlying reason why you're doing this? Why? Okay. If you get my book, you'll see why I did what I did when I wrote this book. And fear of failure. Okay, you're gonna perform on your vision. You wrote it down. You've been communicating with your guides. You've been, realizing things. Now it's time to follow through on your vision. But what if you fail? What if you fail? I mean, after all, you've never had a vision. You've never had something so important, so powerful that you had to be, you were concerned about failing at it. You've worried about failing at maybe a job you had or something like this. This is your vision. You can't fail at your vision, right? That's right. Your vision and your perception of failure need to be reassessed, because there is no such thing as failure. Published, guided in 2014. There's been powerful years where, we've been working and really busy with doing coaching sessions for people and training sessions for people, and book sales were going crazy and all kinds of, and then there were years when it was just kind of somber. And then bam, it'd take another spike and we'd meet the right people and it would come together in a whole different way. It's always working, you guys. If you lose faith in your vision, then you lost faith in yourself is what really happened. You lost faith in something that caused you. So what somebody said, what they thought about you, that kind of thing, that always threw you off track. This is one time, your vision. Nobody has the right to trample on your vision. That's how important your vision is. You have to see it through. It's the reason you came here. Don't miss that, okay? And keep writing in your journal to reinforce this conversation you'll be having with your spirit guides and angels to help you get there, to give you those tidbits of insight that keep you going. Okay? The vision doesn't die. That's like saying your soul would die. It's impossible. Okay. So this is all about your vision. And right now, every one of us have a vision and we have a reason that we're here. And right now we're at the pinnacle of humanity going through massive, massive upgrades. I mean that. It may not look like an upgrade. It may look like a downgrade. It may look like you're being repressed and pushed around and you don't have any choices and stuff. That is not what's going on. Keep writing in your journal about what your vision is, and you will see what it is, and you will see how to perform on it. You'll see your part in it. You may not be the only person in it. In most cases, you're not. This is bigger than you are. So this is all about about the confidence that you have in yourself. It will test you. It will test you to remain present. Okay, when you have a vision, hours pass like minutes. When you're that focused, when you're that when you're that connected to your guidance and aware of what that vision is and how you perform on it, what you do. You won't know how to do any of that until you start writing down what's coming through you from guidance regarding that vision. They're on your side. In fact, they remember your vision better than you do. They know why you're here. So don't miss it. Don't miss your vision and performing on your vision. It's everything. And this insight, one of the things about this insight, it says, let me remember what the meme says. It says, let me think. Let me remember what it says. On the meme for this insight, you'll see it, and your vision is so clear that fears will fear. Okay, so if you have any fear around your vision, it doesn't stand a chance. Okay, so write down your fears, write them down as you move through those fears, because every time you conquer one of the fears that tries to take down your vision, you become more than you were before you got here. You have to become more. And that's how that fear subsides. And that's how that fear is put back in perspective again. Okay. It does not and doesn't have the right and the power to take down your vision. Okay. You just have to track what's going on in here so you don't defeat yourself, okay, the ways that you've done it in the past. All right. So we're going to close this session with the guide's closing message on this insight about when your vision is greater than your fear of failure. All right. And before we do this, if my work has changed your life in any way, let your friends know about what I do. And like always, my spirit guides and I love your comments. So keep them coming. All right. Here they go.
If you have a vision, how clear is it? Who benefits from your vision? Is it you or others? Who are you putting all this work in for? If you are not totally clear of who benefits from your work, you will start to compromise and also rationalize what you're doing. This is a sign that your vision is more self-centered than service to others. Your vision will get blurry and you will fall off the path.
Don't let that happen. You have help. You are never alone and always being guided.